we're back with Versus again. We are back to Canlander again. We've got William on the left and James on the right.
That was too awesome.
Another match in the tournament. There's been a turn one double Mox start. Always fun. So, little fun one. William is visiting over from the US. Saw info about the community on Discord and watched a couple of the videos on YouTube, and has turned up to play Canlander on Sunday, which is awesome.
Yeah. So special guest William, expecting big things from him.
Yep. And we have Mono Red Burn from William, pointed cards being Black Lotus and Mox Ruby, so all in on the Mono Red train.
Yep. And then on the other side we have James playing Atraxa Initiative. Just a straight up control, lots of value cards, and the points being Mox Jet, Mox Emerald, Survival of the Fittest, and Natural Order. So looking to win the game by getting the initiative going. Most of the creatures in the deck have initiative slapped onto them, or the Monarch. So lots of lovely commander mechanics being used in a 1v1 format, which is what you'd love to see.
I mean, that's why, am I right in saying a load of the initiative stuff's got banned from older formats?
So Legacy did have the 3 mana initiative creature banned because playing a turn 1 initiative creature was quite brutal to deal with, so got banned there.
Is it just incremental value, the initiative? You just...
Yeah, so the first... Oh gosh, now you put me on the spot, I can't remember what they will do. Usually it's just win the game.
It's alright, I'm sure we'll find out.
So first one instantly searches your library for a basic land card, so fixes you. Second one either makes a creature bigger or lets you scry. Trap, which is the big one. Target player loses 5 life. And archive, draw a card. So you want to be going down sort of the left-hand side of the Undercity. And then at the end, you get to Throne of the Dead free, which lets you look at the top card, 10 cards in your library, put a creature into play, and it gets huge.
Nice. I like the I love the fact that, because although James is like the ringleader of Canlander here in Nottingham, William's turned up as an outsider, and James is like, I have no idea what you're playing.
Yes.
What am I meant to do?
It's like certain players will turn up week in, week out, same deck every week, so you know what you're playing against. William, complete outsider. Who knows what's going to happen?
Love it.
But we have a very strong start here from James with Mox Emerald. It's a Llanowar Owl, so untap in turn 2 with 3 mana.
I would like to bestow a Spring Heart Nantuko onto Llanowar Elves. That's what you're doing.
Okay, we're going to see lots of mana coming here.
Extra mana, and have a copy of Llanowar Elves. Okay, I'm going to get some tokens. Sure.
That's quite a good answer to the mono red deck, being able to pump out either a 1/1 green insect or a 1/1 mana dog. Going to be very difficult for this mono red deck. We're looking for a lot of 2/1s in the deck, so like this Ragavan going to struggle to fight its way through here. So James being on the play here making a huge difference. Because I imagine William being able to untap with a Ragavan just against a Llanowar Owl, he'd have the removal, be able to get an attack in, and then it starts to snowball. But let's see if he can do similar here. Here we go, the removal for the blocker. Let's get Ragavan going.
I hear this is a good card. Nice.
It was a good card in Modern. It's dropped off a bit now. This card we've just hit though, this GT, this is a very good card.
Do you have a land? Would you like to cast this GT?
I do have a land.
Oof. This could be fairly brutal if this GT gets stolen.
Isn't GT the kind of card that a mono red deck might want anyway? What does GT do?
What doesn't it do? So GT, brilliant card, artifact, 2 mana, equip for 2. when it deals damage, you get to put 2 counters on it. You can remove a charge counter, so have the creature get +2/+2. Target creature get -1/-1, or you gain 2 life.
Yeah.
So it makes the creature it's equipped to, as soon as it gets that first counter, pretty much unblockable.
I will find myself a
You were
prey
talking about a 3-mana initiative creature.
Here it is, White Plume Adventure, the only 3-mana initiative creature. Pretty good one. Gives creatures pseudo vigilance. Going into your opponent's upkeep, you get to untap a creature if you have the initiative.
the initiative can do that.
Also gives you the initiative, lets you search for a land, so we get to see
Copy token,
the nonsense happen again. So we get
and I will pass it to you after
Yeah,
so the,
pretty crazy.
because of white damage.
and here we go, untapping with 3 bodies to block. One of them being White Plume Adventurer, so 3/3. Hey, this is such a powerful start.
I will block with my token Llanowar Elf. Yep. Trade. Yep.
So GTA has the 2 counters, so it can start doing its thing now. Doesn't need to be equipped to do it, which is another reason why GTA is quite strong.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So you can instantly kill that Llanowar Elves if you wanted to.
Untap.
But I've got to imagine William wants to get that Noble equipped and start attacking to keep the counters going on the GT.
Seems fair.
Figured I'd check if you made a horrible mistake.
That seems like a reasonable. Right, I will draw.
We are killing the Llanowar Elves, makes sense. Shame that Nantuko sticks around. Very, very good card, that Nantuko.
Sure. I think that's
Oh,
one of
wow.
the cards that's... Oh, okay.
One of those.
That is one of those starts. Mock start into
I saw make
initiative
make the
creature into Monarch.
on turn 2,
So
ooh, I get to make loads of Llanowar.
pretty good.
Yeah, I was really torn between killing your
I think this, so with a fairly one-dimensional deck like mono red, and even maybe to a lesser extent, but the mono green that we saw in the previous episode, there are times where you just go, okay, that's the end of the game for me. You've got through.
Yeah, so in Canlander, having access to pretty much every legal card in Magic, there's a lot of options for decks. So staying monocolored, you have to have a pretty good reason to do it. And that turn 1 or turn 2 turn 1 Nantuko, what was it, turn 2?
Turn 2.
Can't remember. Felt pretty backbreaking for the mono red deck, because that is always going to be a blocker every turn for free with no real mana investment.
Yeah, because it
If
was
you just want to get the
Mox,
1/1.
Llanowar Elves, and then turn 2 Nantuko, make a copy.
Yeah. So as far as starts go, that was a very brutal start.
Land with 2 mana dorks with the odds of a mana dork living and not great.
I had a price of progress sitting in there, and I was like, oh, price of progress.
Price of Progress, previously pointed card.
When they pointed it, I was like, yes, finally. And then they unpointed it. I was like, no.
Here we go.
So happy when they pointed it.
That's not the kind of card that James, as a general like super value style player, is gonna like.
I am
Yes.
very much of the same opinion. I spend so much time arguing on the Discord about that.
Don't need a Minsk can do at 0. Don't need White Plume at 0. Don't need Comet probably at 0.
How do
These are
you
all
feel about
very
it?
valid arguments.
Okay, all right.
I have gone off saying that a lot of cards need to be pointed at one point, so there is actually opportunity cost to playing them in your deck.
That feels weird to me.
Um,
More points.
turns out moving Ancestral Recall from 7 to 8, meaning I get one less busted card in my deck, is actually quite annoying. So imagine if they started pointing other cards.
Oh, you can lightning
Um,
bolt.
But yeah, those cards all mentioned. I think Flage as well is another card that's come out recently that can be pointed.
Really?
The One Ring, Nardu. There's a long list of cards that I personally think should be pointed to make you actually have to make a choice of what card you want to play instead of just playing 4-5 color soup with
I
all the best
suppose
cards.
there's an argument of the kind of one of the driving forces of this format was let's play all the best cards, but as it's grown, they want to make sure that it's a healthy format as well.
Yes, yeah. I think a lot of games like that one are ended by a turn 3 initiative creature, and that is one of the feel bad moments of the format. And if you point White Plume Adventurer, suddenly you have to start thinking, is this card actually worth playing? Because at the moment, if you're playing white, you're pretty much just playing it anyway because it's a free creature, and that applies for a lot of cards at the moment. So, yeah, it's just my personal take on the format.
No,
It's something I think would make it
it's
slightly better.
I can see it. I can also see the flip side of, well, I've forked out for a Canlander deck and that's built around these couple of cards, and now I'm being made to change it. I don't know whether do they regularly change the points list.
It's the same as any other ban list. It happens
Okay.
sort of when a new set comes out. They reevaluate it. The sort of Canlander committee, they all have to vote in majority of a card having its points changed. And if there's 4 out of the 5 of them say so, we'll see a new card. More often than not, at the moment we're seeing cards reduced.
That's a scary mono red start.
This is one of the starts that you want to see. So 1 mana 2/1 into Amped Raptor, Monastery Swiftspear, Lightning Bolt.
And the Amped Raptor hit removal as well.
Yeah, that's is it Searing Spear? I think it's called. Yeah, Searing Spear. So Lightning Strike version number 6 or 7. I don't know how many different types of Lightning Strikes there are now. But as far as stats go, this is a very good start from mono red deck. 3 creatures in play. Like I explained the other day, with mono red decks, you want to get most of the damage done with the creatures because it's repeatable damage, and then you just want to sort of end the game with your last few spells in hand being your burn spells.
Yep.
And we could very well see the game ending next turn, depending on what sort of hand we've got going. This looks like an attempt to just get some blockers into play. So 2 mana 2/2 with haste.
This game's over, surely.
Going to be difficult.
This is definitely blocking something with 2 power.
The 0/3 does get a free attack here, a free block here. Sorry.
That's not that much damage.
And then you probably want to. Oh, we are taking the full 5. Interesting. Obviously needs this extra mana for something. Not the land you want to be playing. I'm going to give you a 3 point of damage.
Finally, fetch lands are actually got a cost associated to them.
It's still not a real cost. Perfect mana far outweighs the cost of 1 life.
For sure, but it's got to feel painful at some point.
Yeah. I personally think I don't fetch there, because you've got the Yavimaya in place, so it does just tap for mana anyway. So that might have been a mistake there from James.
I'll dash the Zergo Bellstriker.
Sure.
Right, in another attacker to the board. Turn it all sideways as you do with red. This is a lethal attack, so these blocks will have to be done this time.
Yep.
I have you at 1 because you took 1 off of the fetch.
And that put me from 6 to 5.
Did it? Oh yeah. Oh yes, you're right. Yeah. Sorry. That
Oh.
was my bad.
No worries. So this dies. Yep. These spawns and the created. Yep.
Okay,
Pass the turn. Zergo returns to my hand.
Zergo bounces back.
Do you want to cut?
I do wonder if that fetch is going to make a difference. Potentially being on 3 life here versus 2.
Go ahead.
Doesn't look like it if it's just a draw and pass here. Unless there's some form of removal.
We have a forked bolt.
Oh, so I think that fetch did make a difference there, because that fort bite wouldn't have got the job done. You'd have been on, James would have stayed on 3 life. So yeah, but no, the fetch happened. Like you said, there was an actual cost to the fetch, and we ended up seeing it come into effect there.
be nice if we could just have a game where where both of our plays matter.
Oh, this is James's preferred playstyle coming into
Never getting mana sources
to the forefront.
basically dead.
Little slide dig at mono red as a deck, I would say.
Yeah.
The fact that you only had basically two lands and non-stop.
James very much likes playing control,
Experience here was absurd.
value cards, thinking about every play. I fall more into that category for sure as a Magic player. I like interactive Magic where there's lots of decision points, but some people prefer to play a streamlined deck and just play it as a puzzle and see if they can get there.
Personally, it depends what format I'm playing. If I'm playing standard, I want games to end quick, so I can go enjoy the rest of my day. So if it's standard, I'll focus on mono red. For other formats, I like long grindy games.
How can you
limited
say
is
that?
another one.
You've built a combo deck in standard that you're loving.
Yes, that is like the exception rather than the rule.
Okay.
So this looks like a strong hand. Another Mox start. Mox into Skull Clamp.
Yeah.
I can't. Okay. It's another one land.
Charming Prince, Leovold.
Oh, Charming Prince gains life.
Those dice.
Yeah. Potentially only one land though, unless the two at the back are also lands. Can't quite make them out. Mono red taking a mulligan, not what you want to be doing as a mono red player. You almost want every single card in the deck to count, or every single card in your opening hand to count, and losing one could be the difference between 3 points of burn.
And being on the draw hurts us as well, right?
Yeah. Well, like this turn one potentially Charming Prince could be backbreaking. It's a 2/2. Gain some life, maybe scry some cards, and then potentially a Leovold on turn 2 as well. So you're going two mana 2/2 into 3 mana 3/3. It's going to be rough for the mono red player to get through that.
Gaining 3 life is almost like an extra turn spell against mono red, isn't it?
Yes, and just a 2/2 body as well. Like
Yeah,
it's going to
that's
trade
fair.
with like every single 1 or 2 mana creature this red deck's playing.
Play a Tundra. Cast them up, turn rules. I'm going to start with the Charming Prince, so I'm just going to gain 3 life.
Yeah, here we go. That is mono red player was 1 card down. They're effectively 2 cards down now. That first lightning strike they cast is basically blank now.
Mountain. Will suspend it.
Yep.
So yeah,
Suspended
that
Riftbolt.
rift
Yeah.
bolt, there it is. It's
I will swamp cycle this troll. I will go
So-
to a Bayou.
luckily for William didn't have the swamp, I imagine, to just slam the Leovold. So we're going to swamp cycle to get it. So I think that was one of the cards I didn't recognise at the back of the hand. So this might mean we're land light from James here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Interesting decision to swing with that Charming Prince. I suppose the Rift Bolt's just come in at the Prince, so
Ooh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'll just send that here, Charming Prince.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a case of like, let me make you think twice about where you want to send this bolt.
Yeah.
I'll play Sunbake's Canyon.
Sunbaked Canyon, is that the pain
That is a
land?
Horizon land.
Yes.
So like Horizon Canopy, you always take the damage to add the mana,
Okay.
Flash it away.
but you also get to crack it later on to draw a card. So it's great in these mono red decks. So it's why you see them playing a off-color land.
And play Flood Strand.
That land that draws you an extra card.
Yeah.
Leovold doesn't like it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So this Slick Shot Show Off is one of the scarier cards printed for Red in recent years. I have died out of nowhere because of this quite often. Getting +2/+0 for each spell cast is terrifying.
Yeah, like Swift Spear with flying.
At least I know how to.
Yep. And gets +2 instead of just 1. So yeah, this Slickshot Shaft doesn't care about the Leovold, it's just going to fly over the top. We do see a Miss Land drop here from the mono red player, so hand full of potential burn spells and creatures. So it's just about deploying them in the correct order.
And a Sylvan Library.
So empty-handed. Really don't imagine that Sylvan Library is going to be used to do anything other than
Would
pick
you
the
like
best
to
card of the
pay
top three.
4 to 8 life for some extra cards?
Yeah.
Mono red player. William just licks his lips. Let's go.
Yep. So yeah. Oof. Empty-handed. You've got to feel good being the mono red player now, knowing that everything's on the board. There's no removal spell. Could be a removal in the top 3. But this is almost a free turn, so you want to get as much damage in, or develop the board as much as you can here. So William deep in the tank here, thinking for his turn.
I guess
Probably
when you've got a puzzle to solve, it's nice to have all of the information.
Yeah. I imagine his biggest issue here is only having 2 mana.
So that will trigger Leovold, yep. So I will draw. That will resolve. I'll take 3 down to 18.
That's painful.
Go to 15.
If
Leovold's-
that's the best you can do, it's not looking too great.
Yeah, Leovold's going to do some work here.
I will, to the shock of absolutely nobody, only take 1.
Not taking on 3 here, not taking the 8, go down to 7, make the game closer.
For good with not just think of the
No, so that looked like a March of the Otherworldly Light.
blind here. And I will use it to attach a skull clamp to Leovold. And I will come at you for 5. Go ahead.
Okay, maybe
why not
not
be
much.
aggressive? I expect if that was a removal spell, you just use it. But
Yeah. Okay, so here's the mountain that has been missing. So yeah, let's see how much damage you can do this turn. That extra 3 life making a huge difference. Looking at your opponent at 15 as opposed to 12.
yep.
I'll trigger this. I will
In response to the trigger, actually,
Yep.
I'm going to cast Price of Progress.
Ooh. How many
Wow.
you got?
So I would take 8. Going to 7.
William would also take 2 here.
I draw a card.
Yes.
And then 1 going to 6.
This currently has 5 power.
Yeah, that's
Was that a miss?
Yeah, no, we've got it.
We've got it. Okay.
I think so. We've got the life totals right. I think in their game they've been missing the pain from the land. So William's not been taking 1 damage from tapping the
Okay.
Exiled.
Horizon land. Or
Okay. Yeah. And it was a March of the Otherworldly Light, which is mahusive, because I think
One off my Sundays.
Yes.
that literally
Draw and then Sylvan Library.
wins James the game there, because that was a swing for 5 with a flashback Lava Dark, could be a swing for 7 plus an extra 1, was 8 damage coming in.
wow. Okay, big.
So March was
2, pay 4, but that seems
yeah.
I'm on 6. I will. So.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I just moved it because of my
Oh,
and I
yeah.
just forgot.
I'm going to animate dead.
So yeah, sounds like they've got the life totals wrong there, which is quite an issue, because this should be a lethal swing.
I will attack you for 5.
Yeah,
So
that's right. So that's
yes.
lethal attack. Game should be over, but William's still on a bit of life because of this.
Oh, I can't do
cannot
that.
draw another card.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, good game.
It doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow,
Oh,
it was a close one. It was a close one.
Anything I could suddenly block. That was my.
Yeah. Very close.
Yeah,
just
lovely.
luckily had the removal on the in his hand. So, yeah.
Thanks for joining again. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.